Scalding reviews and a stark drop-off in players sure do make it seem like everybody already hates Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. Welcome to Inside Games Daily, the only gaming news show brave enough to see the irony that this beta was for the players that already bought the game.
Yeah, your most dedicated haters are also the ones that just keep playing it no matter what. And also, disclosure, the beta is also for people like us, or at least me, that got a code so that I could play it. So thank you, Activision, for that. But yeah, the haters are here, and they're all the ones that already bought the game, I guess. So let's hear more about it from the one man that's never hated on anything a single day in his life, Brian Garr.
If there's a girl in this game, I'm going to send even more death threats. Yes, let's talk about Modern Warfare 4. It's not looking like a smash hit after its early access beta weekend. The beta, which, as y'all said, could be accessed by players who had pre-ordered the game, offered one single-player campaign mission and a handful of multiplayer maps and modes just to get your taste buds wet.
And unfortunately, this early glimpse failed to delight, as the beta currently has a mixed review summary on Steam, with just 52% of English language reviewers rating it positively.
Reviews on Xbox are equally savage, rating just 2.8 out of 5. And a brief aside here regarding PlayStation. Of course, we looked just to, complete our little gaming triangle. But the PlayStation Store bundles all the different versions of Call of Duty together under one big thing, Call of Duty. They call them different editions or something like that. Anyway, bundles all that together as far as review aggregation is concerned. You can filter by the different games, but if we filter for the Modern Warfare 4 beta, there are no reviews there for some reason. So yeah, we couldn't really narrow it down on PlayStation.
Yeah, and thanks to the Modern Warfare 4 beta having its own Steam page, we can also track player trends, and they're not good either. The game peaked at its first hour of release, hitting a peak of just over 115,000 players. Pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, but they didn't stick around. Just 6 hours later, the player count had dropped by almost half, or 44% to be exact. 64,000 players, and while a little ebb and flow is to be expected for most video games, those players never returned.
Yeah, the concurrent player count dropped below 50,000 midday Saturday and never climbed back above that. So people saw what they saw and decided to do something else, at least for this weekend.
Yeah, and negative reviews across Xbox and Steam share a few common complaints, some of which are specific to Modern Warfare 4, others that are more exhaustion with Call of Duty in general.
So when it comes to complaints about this specific game, a surprising number of reviewers complain about cheaters and over-tuned aim assist. So Steam user The Marcy writes, quote, aim assist is on a different level, or the game already has cheaters in their negative review.
Todd Read Me, I'm not sure which one that is, but they had similar complaints, writing, quote, if you're a controller player and love to have the game essentially play itself, go wild.
Ooh, I'm going to get back into Call of Duty now. That sounds awesome. An anonymous 1-star review on Xbox, those are the best reviews, reads, not even 24 hours after this goes live and it's already filled with hackers and cheaters. And it had the sad, not the sad, but the straight-faced emoji.
The neutral face, yeah. Folks also complain about the beta requiring TPM 2.0. It's a finicky BIOS level security feature that isn't fully supported by everyone's gaming PCs.
Yeah, and even if it is supported, sometimes it tells you that it's not, and it's not great if you ever have to mess with it. So yeah, a lot of people kind of specifically saying this game has problems in addition to not liking sliding and things like that. Other complaints read more like they could apply really to any Call of Duty. The usual suspects. People complain about the spawns being broken. The maps are garbage. The TTK is too fast. And really the overarching one, it's just the same old Call of Duty yet again.
Steam user Irish Coffee sagely writes, if you're over the age of 30, move on. COD is dead. If you're under 30, I'm pretty sure you can't read anyways, so enjoy the game, I guess.
We owe Modern Warfare 4 some common sense caveats to balance out all of the negativity, as usual, for Call of Duty. People love to hate on Call of Duty. They really do. We do it every year. We talk about sales and stuff like that. Last year was my favorite year to hate on Call of Duty because it really was terrible. But again, this beta is for folks that actually pre-ordered the game. And while some Steam reviews spitefully claimed they would refund their pre-order, we're still dealing with the folks that will most likely play the game.
Yeah, and they're probably the hardest to surprise and delight after a decade plus of Call of Duty. We also, and this is for the player count thing, because player count claims are pretty sensational, but you really do need apples to apples comparisons to see if this player behavior is normal, and we really don't have that. The way that they launched previous betas on Steam meant that it didn't have its own page. It was like DLC for something else. So all of the previous betas kind of got wrapped under the Call of Duty app that also incorporates Warzone and everything else. So we didn't really have specific numbers on previous betas to compare to. And it is a beta after all. You know, there's only 20 levels. There's not a billion things to do, and progress won't carry over to Modern Warfare 4. So it makes total sense that a lot of people maybe just dropped in, saw what it played like, and went back to the game that they're going to play until Modern Warfare 4 comes out.
Although, when it comes to comparisons, there was another military sim shooter that had a closed beta this past weekend, War Dogs.
Yeah, that's right. So player habits here look far more healthy, peaking over 90,000 players on Friday and Saturday, and then beating that on Sunday at over 105,000 concurrent players. So the closed beta, by the way, was generally for pre-orders. So you had to pre-order War Dogs to get into this closed beta. People gave them $40 just to play the closed beta. There were other people that got let in if you requested access on Steam, things like that. But most of them were pre-orders, including me, and I think including Lawrence.
Yeah, same here. But it's very telling when the arrow go up instead of go down over the same stretch with loosely the same sort of setup. You know, it's a closed beta, like you said. Progress isn't going to carry over, so that little uptick indicates that what they're doing is retaining players versus Modern Warfare 4 losing them. And while we're at it, while we're dunking on COD, I guess, games retailer Video Games Plus revealed via an X post that the Switch 2 version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 will just be a code in a box. And that's bad for obvious reasons, but also Call of Duty games are massive if you haven't had to install one lately. Downloading the whole thing will probably occupy almost half, if not a little bit more, of the Switch 2's 250 gigabytes of storage. Maybe they can trim that down by not including 4K textures and everything, but it's a huge undertaking, and the fact that it's download only means none of that's going to be on the card. So that sucks. But Modern Warfare 4, I don't know, I played some of it. It does seem like it's intentionally trying to be more of a throwback, which might explain the really strong aim assist. There's no more omni movements. You can't slide backwards. You can't matrix dive in any direction from a dead stop anymore. So I think they wanted it to be a little more throwback, and I think maybe some people that are used to or have unwillingly gotten used to how slidey and jumpy the more recent CODs are might be reacting to that. It's also a lot easier to shoot people when they're just on the ground, so that might explain that too. I don't know, though. I also saw some people having a bit of a philosophical breakdown regarding skill-based matchmaking, but I'll get into that in a minute. I don't know. Do you guys have any takes on this? What's your read on the situation?
It's interesting because I generally, for this beta, I'm usually pretty excited, and I'll hop in and be like, okay, let's play a little beta, and then realize it's Call of Duty and then stop. But at least I'll play every year and check in. I also look forward to the single-player campaign. I'll tell you what, though. Last year's Black Ops, whatever the fuck, 7... Man, oh man, it was so bad that I was like, I don't know that I want to come back. And the fact that War Dogs happened over the weekend, that was more than enough for me to be like, I'm going to go check out War Dogs. Like, this is completely different. At least it's something that feels like not Call of Duty, because it's not. And I really enjoyed my time with War Dogs. It is not Call of Duty by any stretch of the imagination. So there were a lot of things that were putting me off of this beta, and I actually did kind of want to try it. But it just missed me this time around. So we'll see.
The last Call of Duty game I really got into was the one with the no Russian mission. So I'm the wrong person to have any kind of opinion on Call. I hope everybody has fun. That's my wish for all of you.
Thanks, Dad.
Well, on that note, we should mention as well, Modern Warfare 4 will have an open beta this coming weekend. So we'll get another look at how the player dynamics behave. That one will actually be on Switch 2 as well. So everybody will have a chance to download and play and see how it works before they dive in. But yeah, it's interesting reading through a bunch of reviews, especially people that have played Call of Duty, unlike Brian, have been playing Call of Duty for decades now. Some people are having an interesting bit of a maybe identity crisis regarding skill-based matchmaking. I saw a really interesting review that was like kind of commenting about how they didn't like how skill-based matchmaking made the game feel. People compared it to TikTok, right? Like the algorithm is customizing your experience to put you right down the lane of tolerability in terms of like ad load, or in the case of COD, how many times is it going to let you lose before it feeds you a match to make you feel good. Thing is, like, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Some people want to walk into a COD match as though it's a slot machine and pull the lever. And so, like, the boundaries of the matchmaking are wider. Nobody wants to get eliminated by somebody tons better than them, and a lot of the reviews are actually complaining about that. But everyone wants to just wipe the floor with somebody who's been fed to them. They want to just stomp on guppies all day. But that's not, like, no individual player has to acknowledge this, but you don't get a sustainable player base by just having a few elites that get to stomp on everyone all the time. That's Marathon, really, and I think that's kind of the core problem with that game, is that the over-level players do have, like, objective power over those that are less skilled. So you're not going to have anyone to play against if the game is like that, because in the way that you don't want to be fed to somebody else, people don't want to be fed to you. So in a multiplayer game like this, like, you're the food, but you're also the diner, except that other players are your food, not a chef that you're paying in the back. That's what a single player game is like. So yeah, you are doing both roles at the same time, and you have to put in time in each role. Otherwise, it's going to be imbalanced. Someone out there is going to be losing more than you're losing or winning or whatever. So it's tough, but that's what it is. That's what it'll always be. If you want, like, clear, objective games that you can play and get better at, there's always chess, you know. But otherwise, it's always, I mean, video games are an illusion from the start. So the moment you hit start to play that video game, you're trading money for a power fantasy or a skill fantasy. But yeah, if you want to go do something real, I guess go beat old men in the park at chess. Anyway, that's my rant. But the sooner you accept that, the better, because I actually had a similar breakdown about this like a month ago, and I realized you just got to ratchet that IQ back. You just got to be like, when I step into COD, I am taking what they give me, and that's it. And the illusion of control or progression, it's all part of the theater of it.
Lawrence, while I agree, I'm going to challenge your views here, only because there are other video games that are similar to COD, not exactly, but there are other video games that you don't have to go in and get shot 1,000 million times in the head and then be like, I hate this fucking game, I quit. You don't have to do that. Battlefield is one of those. You can run to flags and really, honestly, just lay there and throw out supplies and score points. You never have to shoot a gun. War Dogs is also very similar to that. I was over the weekend, I was flying people in with a helicopter, dropping them off, and then flying back. That was it. And I was having a great time. I was scoring points. Sometimes I get shot down, sometimes I didn't. But I never had to shoot a gun, and I never got super frustrated in the fact that somebody was dropping nukes in the lobby, or like, same with Overwatch, ages old comparison to Overwatch, where I asked the Overwatch developers years ago when they first released it, I was like, well, what's the matchmaking rate? They're like 50-50. 50% of the time you win, 50% of the time you lose. Fuck that. I don't want that shit ever. I want to leave and go to another server. I don't want to get matchmaked into the same thing over and over and over. I want to go leave and go to another server and see what that server's like. So there is better matchmaking and there are better video games out there. It depends, though. You sort of have to widen what you want to do. Like, Lawrence is correct. If you want Call of Duty, you have to deal with skill-based matchmaking. If you want Overwatch, you have to deal with skill-based matchmaking. And you have to deal with what they give you. That's it. But if you play another video game, you might have a little better luck and not feel like you're just getting stomped on all the time.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what Bruce said, I know that people get really sensitive when they hear any kind of messaging of like, you just got to take it. I don't think that's necessarily what Bruce is saying or what I'm saying. I think it's more about making your peace with the state of the game. Yeah, because even if they nudge the boundaries of SBMM or whatever, it'll always be about retaining players and getting money out of them, because it's a business, deep down, that's always what it's going to be. And even if they massage the wording or come out with some new branded thing, I think they even said that, like, don't worry, the matchmaking is going to be new. But they didn't say how, because they're not going to, because maybe it's not even really all that new. All they're doing, it's mind games. It's mind games all the way down. So you either square your perception with that, or you will always, always, always be frustrated with those factors, because they're never going away. Not in Call of Duty, at least. Just like we're never going away. That's right. We're going to be reporting gaming news when we get to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 12. They'll probably reboot it again by then, but we can always hope. We have to shout out our most patriotic supporters that support us via our Patreon. Keep our boots polished and our guns well oiled. Thank you very much, Redden 003, Zach the Hack, and Splinkerton, Forkin Doggin, we know when we see your names pop into the lobbies, it's time to jump to a new one. So they can't stop us from doing that, just like the internet can't stop us from reporting gaming news. So thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time on Inside Games.